Hello.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to our channel. Did you miss us? Because we did miss you.
What do we even call this channel?
Whatever. What is the platform? Forum?
Yeah.
We're not millennials, please. We're Gen Zs.
Anyway, guys.
Channel, not platform or forum. Or what do you want to call it?
It was just
Caban, cult.
It was just a passing thought. So
Anyway, it's a channel because it's on YouTube, I guess.
yeah.
It's not a cult yet. It's a channel because it's on YouTube. Anyways, welcome back once again. I'm Tochi.
I'm 7.
Period. And we're back with another one, which I'm very excited about because it's a song that I've been dying for us to break down since I've heard it even before we knew we wanted to ever do this. This is from my own playlist. But before we go into the song, just a bit of a background about what we're doing. Seven and I were friends. Long-time friends, of course. And at some points, we did drift apart for a while and then did reconnect sometime recently and have since then been exploring elements of our personality through music and different stuff, different ideologies and all that stuff. And we've been about this for quite a bit now. I think the past 2-3 weeks now. This is probably our third week.
This is our third week.
Right. And since then we've stacked up an array of breakdowns from 7 by Taylor Swift to The Marvelous Orange Tree by Def Heaven,
and
Hit the Wall by Gracie Abrams, and, Red by Taylor Swift,
Running from the Chase, and
Truth Club. That's Truth Club. And This Is Me Trying Taylor Swift.
We can't even keep counting.
We're losing count, which is a good thing. So just to sort of we'll keep counting as long as we can, just so if you're like a first time viewer, you're just tuning in for the first time, you know damn well some of the things you could go check out because we do have a catalog of some interesting stuff. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. This is Renegade by Big Red Machine featuring Taylor Swift.
I'm ready for this one.
I tap on your window on your darkest night. The shape of you was jagged and weak. First of all, before we go into the breakdown of this, I love the word jagged. It's not just, I just love to say it. I love how it sounds, jagged.
Okay.
Yeah.
That already gives me an idea. Something jagged as a shape. It has sharp edges and all that. So
it's rough.
Yeah.
Right. So I tap on your window on your darkest night. The shape of you was jagged and weak. So this is giving me the idea of, obviously, the backstory about this song is about having to deal with someone with mental health. So you are basically a partner of someone that has to deal with mental health stuff, right? And the reason why I chose this song is because Seven and I have gone through a number of songs, but a lot of those songs talk about mental health from the perspective of the sufferer. Or the person themselves. And I was like, for a change, I know one song that seems to talk about it from the angle of the partner or whoever of the person, of which people who have mental health, they have people around them, either partners or family or whatever, and it's not always easy for them. I know we talk about this in the social media of people that if you are around people that have mental health, whatever, help them, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But what we don't talk about enough is how frustrating it can be sometimes. So this song seems to speak from the perspective of, say you are the family or the partner of someone that's dealing with mental health. So the song sort of talks about that from a sympathy perspective, while also from a frustration perspective, which is very genuine.
It is. It's because it's life. It's part of real life. People can get pretty frustrated having to deal with everything you go through as someone who is suffering mental health problems.
It doesn't make how they feel less valid. It's as valid as the mental health victim or sufferer. I don't want to say victim. Is it victim? Is that the right word? Or sufferer?
Sufferer is more accurate.
Mental health sufferer. They're both valid. You get what I mean?
And I think it's just honest. It's to kind of talk about these things. It's not always, we can talk about people who are suffering mental health and also people who are having to deal with people who are suffering
mental health.
So if it kind of like, it helps with being sympathetic more towards like humans in general. Yeah, so
I don't like liken it to like when you're dealing with, say, a sick person or a sick child, say for instance one that has cancer, right? While the person who's sick is going through a lot, the people who are taking care of the person as well,
impacts their life.
It also impacts their lives.
Everything about how you now start to plan your routine.
God bless you.
Yeah, so yeah. It's heavy.
It's really heavy. So that's why I really love this song, and I was like, oh, for a change, let us explore the other perspective. So the line, I tapped on your window on your darkest night, the shape of you was jagged and weak. So it's the narrator saying that I came to you, I approached you, I liked you, I wanted us to be together. I saw your flaws and all. So that's what I tapped on your window on your darkest night. I came to you when you're at your lowest, and I knew, it's not like I didn't know.
Yeah.
The shape of you was jagged and weak. I saw that you were not at your best. You didn't have, you didn't have your shit together, but it was fine.
And this is like, I tapped on your window. So this is like a gentle, it's not forceful, like a gentle entry.
You made that. So I think in plain English, I made advances at you. I knew that you were not really at your best or whatever, but I still wanted you. I still made advances at you because the following line when she says, there was nowhere for me to stay, but I stayed anyway. Is that thing where you see someone you like and you just want to stay there. You don't feel there's anywhere better for you to be than to be at this. Even if you can see that, they're not at their best. Like I said, the shape of you was jagged and weak. I can see it, but there was nowhere else for me to stay, so I just stayed anyways. That kind of I can manage this.
Oh, I really love this because it just expresses affection as a form of strong will, choosing to stay when somewhere you can actually see that there's no space for you. That is.
But I stayed anyway, and also just hammering on that, there was nowhere for me to stay. It's like I don't know where anywhere. It's like when you at that point where you really need a companion as well. And then you saw something that looked like it, like that, but then it comes with this price of mental whatever.
Yeah.
But you're like, I could damn the consequences and still, choose to stay. So that's sort of how I picture that entire line. Moving on, and if I would have known how many pieces you had crumbled into, I might have let them lay.
Oh,
I love this line so much. First of all, I love the grammatical construction of this line. It's not so on the nose. It's something you have to be smart to figure out. It's not saying that, oh, if I had known you were this, I would have not. She said, if I would have known how many pieces you had crumpled into, I might have let them lay. It's basically saying that. I mean, please, if there's anything you want to add, before I go.
Yeah, I wish I would have known how many pieces you had crumbled into. So, So what this is telling me, I mean, what I'm getting from this is, of course, they saw the damage before they entered, but they did not see the full extent of it. And
tens.
Now they're seeing everything as clear as it is, and now it's a confession. I wish I would have known that this is the extent. I
wouldn't have even just bothered. I would have just been where I was. I would have
let you stay.
I would have just let you be.
Instead of trying to pick up, like I guess seeing the crumbled pieces, you might have tried.
Seeing all you have to deal with.
Yeah, try to like kind of make sense of it. All of that, the pieces on the floor and everything. But just let them lay.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know.
It's like not knowing where you're going into until you get into it and you're like, wow, I would have just been where I was. I would have just been where I was. This is like this journey of unknown, and you get into it and you're like, wow, this is a lot more complicated and complex than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's saying in plain English for the people who don't understand literature.
It's also this thing of having the idea that you see that something is bad, and then you feel you
Like
can
you can
actually
fix them.
handle it. You can fix them.
Sorry to cut. There's a song in the social point departments that has that the title is "I Can Fix Him." Brackets. No, really, I can. I think that's a sister song to this song.
Yeah, okay.
Like trying to thinking you can fix someone, and then you realize that, oh my god, whoa, maybe I can't.
Yeah, it hits you.
He hits you. Like
God.
that's that. Like Alex said, it's confession. It's a confession, and it's like I said. Why I really love this song. It's complex. It's not something that when you hear mental health. You should be able to stick with the person. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But at some point, you're like, maybe I probably would have been better off not even attempting to do this.
Oh, just to veer off a little. So there's something I see people do very much online is so people talk about mental health. You know how people always want to tell you, talk to someone, go see a therapist and all of that. And they talk about mental health. Sometimes they accessorize it. They like, you don't remember certain things, and you say you have ADHD. But then when you actually see how having a mental health issue manifests, they can't comprehend it. I saw a tweet of somebody who had cleaned their room, and they posted the before and the after of their room. The after was still looking so messy, but the before was just chaotic. It didn't look like a home that somebody lived in, and people were just they had mean things to say, and this was someone who had like a mental health issue. That act of actually putting their room together, even if it didn't look perfect, was such a huge feat for them. And now people on the outside are looking at that and saying, but you didn't do anything.
This is me trying.
Yeah. You didn't do anything. So people see how living with mental health manifests, and it's something they don't actually
understand.
I don't know if it was
exactly. I think you're very correct. Like you can, like you said, they accessorize mental health.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Until you see what mental health is, you realize that, hey, wait, I shouldn't have.
It's crazy.
You're like, I can't actually handle this one. You're like, this is way more than me. Yeah. Moving on. Moving on to the chorus. Are you really gonna talk about timing in times like this and let all your damage me? This line is, I think this one is self-explanatory. It's more like saying that you can't be talking about. I think it's like maybe telling the person, maybe it's like maybe the person talking about timing. In what sense, I wouldn't know. And then you're asking the person, is this really the time to be talking about all this while your damage, while your damage is, while all of this is really, it's not faring well for me at all, and this is the time you're bringing this up.
Because so when you think about it, the timing is let's actually bring it down to a romantic relationship with someone who's dealing with mental health. And one thing that they will always want to do is like try to use timing as a reason for why they are the way they are, or not giving as much as the should relationship, and to say, the time is wrong. Okay, this thing of saying, right everything wrong time, and you try to use that. So are you really talking about timing when like you're a mess?
Like you're a mess, and it's affecting me. It's ruining me. You can't be talking about timing right now. So it's like, I think in my head, it's like the narrator approaching a breaking point, and like, I'm sorry, this is not the time for that right now. You can't keep talking about timing when you're literally overwhelming me.
Yeah, what you said, that's what
it feels to me. It's like approaching a breaking point, and
let your damage
and let your damage me. I like that.
I love that. Your
damage me.
Damage me.
Yeah. So it's pregnant.
I swear.
And carry your baggage up my street. Make me your future history. It's time. So you're gonna take this.
So I'm going to take all of this block of. I'm going to take it as one because for me it's sounding like an accusation actually. So because in the first line, the narrator is asking, "Are you really going to talk about time in times like this?" And now she's now listing all of the things. What times like this mean? Like, and let your damage me? Are you gonna let your damage me, and then like bring all your burden to me, and then at the end make me your future history that's like part of your past?
God,
Like, are you going to do all of that to me and then put me in the past?
That's true.
I think
there could be that. That's true. If you take the entire this thing, are you really going to talk about something in terms like this and let all your damage me? Look at that. I'm saying the and carry all your baggage of my shit and make me your future. It's like, are you really going to talk about time in times like this? Like have all your issues affect me and all this, and then you just leave me, like leave me in the past, and like I now become your past, right?
Yeah, that's
and it's classic. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Because it happens.
You enter people who are sufferers. You enter their lives, and like all the focus is about them and their mental health, and not to because it's a real struggle having to do with mental.
Not to villainize anybody.
But it's also because now we're shining the light too on like people who have to deal.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're having to deal with these people, you're sharing your burden with them. For them, it's usually all about them. Yeah. So if you're sharing, it's coming from like a place of, and this is so unintentional, yeah, because well, it depends on the individual. It's case by case. It's always about, usually about like them and how you're managing them, how you're managing their demons for them. So like not realizing how the other person is suffering all of these things. Yeah. So it's
and make me your future histories. Like so I will go through all of these things with you, and I will also at some point at the end of the day I'll now become your past.
Yeah.
And future history is like the narrator is anticipating that. So she say future history because normally when you say, "Oh, I have history with that person," like saying it's an ex, or she's saying future history means that it's impending.
Yeah,
it's impending. Impending breakup or separation.
Because at that point it's looking like
it. So you're anticipating it.
Yeah.
Love.
This is it's giving avoidance.
Yeah. Like it's giving avoidance, and the narrator is like really seeing everything and really preparing for the worst.
Oh my God.
You've come a long way. Open the blinds. Let me see your face. You wouldn't be the first renegade to meet somebody. I think it's still in that spirit of still reaching out.
Yeah.
And being like, look, try, open up.
That's what I
like. You've come a long way already. You've come like. I think that if you're always like trying to cheer up the person.
Yeah.
There's nothing of trying to cheer the person. Like, come on, you're doing this. You can do this. You can do this. You've done amazing.
Exactly. Because if they're letting you share their baggage, if you're sharing their baggage with them and they're letting you do that, I mean, they've come a long way.
Yeah, because with people like this, they open up sometimes and they
withdraw. Yeah.
They open up, so it's like you're trying to tell the person like you've come a long way already, and because every small effort is huge. So I really acknowledge that she's like, because you've come a long way. It could just be maybe a small open up, but it's like that acknowledges like this is me trying. I see you.
Yeah,
I hear you. I know it took a lot for you to even open up the small way you could, but that alone, you've come a long way. Open the blinds more. Let me see your face.
I like how Taylor didn't. Who's Big Machine? Yeah.
Yeah, Big Machine.
So,
Aaron Desna and Taylor Swift actually.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So I like how the whole focus is not just on like, oh, you're hurting me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I see you trying. Like you can. It's like sharing. Trying to hold their hand too, as you're telling them that they're hurting you, damaging you. Oh my God,
it's complex.
I love it.
It's complex. It's complex. You wouldn't be the first renegade to meet somebody.
That's so emotionally intelligent.
Depending on how you read this, it might sound harsh. When you tell someone, you wouldn't be, as a Nigerian, but like you wouldn't be the first renegade to meet someone. But it's like telling us like look, you're not alone. There are people out there, like that kind of trying to make a person see like, look, you're not the only, you're not special as far, you're not special, not is the word. You're not different in a bad way. Like it's typical.
Exactly.
It's typical, okay? It's okay to actually meet somebody or open up to other people, it's actually okay. You wouldn't be the first. You're not the first. Trust me. Yeah, it's just trying to like get in their psyche. Like, come on, it's not a you thing. You're not the only one, okay? So, but I always try to read it like a hash. Like, you wouldn't be the first renegade to meet somebody. But I get that she's trying to like, look, you wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, exactly, because that's coming from frustration.
Yeah.
Also, because sometimes they can feel like, oh, like I like that you're here, but like,
yeah,
could you leave me alone?
Yeah, and they should be like, come on, please open up.
You don't have to be actually.
In that case, I no, go ahead. Please.
No, like I was done. Like,
yeah, you're not trying to. I mean, maybe in my case, not trying to maybe be telling them of other people that have gone through the same thing, just for them to feel like, come on, it's not. You're not the only. You're not the first. You're not the only one.
I can read the frustration in that. Like, it's like that kind of. It's tough love,
being graceful while being frustrated.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like, what it's giving me. That's what this song always gives me. Like, giving you frustrated but still graceful, still emotionally what's the word, just being graceful while being frustrated, not the kind of anger because of frustration, but it got the kind of come on, come on. And then the post chorus, is it insensitive for me to say, get your shit together so I can love you?
And this is surreal. It's
passive aggressive. And of course, it gets to that point. Like, it's like, the feelings or the emotions as the for the narrator will be going up and down. On some days or sometimes you're like, oh. Or sometimes you're like, oh, but sometimes you're like, I can't.
They are aware that they might sound like, to tell someone who's suffering to actually get their shit together, they're aware of how that may sound. So that's why they're asking, is it insensitive? So that's a private confession or private admission. Like, so they know oh, I love this.
I love saying, like, is it? I mean, the line is self-explanatory. We're just sort of explaining like what in like the word building, or like in like the imagery of why would like what must have evoked that line of, is it insensitive for me to say, get your shit together? It's frustration. It's frustration while also being mentally aware, or while also being aware of the person's situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's a juxtaposition of like two feelings. Like, you are frustrated at days, but then you cannot, you can't still just open your mouth to say anything to them because you're aware of what is distant. So you're like,
it's like trying to hold the both truth together.
Exactly. Because this thing is correct. It's valid. Just like we say, they're both valid, both from the perspective of the mental health sufferer and then the partner. It's both valid. So the partner is woke to say, is it insensitive for me to say she's woke? I love. Because some people will just make fun of you, not really make fun, but just say certain things without considering. So she trying to pick her words. Because we know in this case as well, with these mental health sufferers in the entire whatever, if you go to say certain things that doesn't go well with them, that could further complicate issues. You get what I mean? So this is she really being cautious, picking her words, taming her frustration. Is it really your anxiety that stops you from giving me everything, or do you not want to?
Oh, it gets to that point. Real. This is so real.
It gets to that point where you're wondering, like, is it really, really that? Or you just...
I want to say something about like, so people what would I call them? Relationship expert and all. They say that when you're going through emotional trauma, that is not the best time for you to get into a relationship. And like, I went through something that actually changed that perspective for me, because I think you can actually find healing inside a relationship. You can actually deal with trauma while you're inside the relationship. So around that time, this was part of the question I was asking, like, is it really that you're going through this thing, or like, is it you just don't want to?
Because sometimes you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you're going through, Ghana?
So,
Like,
So that it led me to I sat down
and I really like what you said. I said, you said, are you really going through this thing? Because at that point, it is this thing.
Yeah.
It's like that's how you describe it. You're like, are you really going through this thing?
Yeah, because
or
you're not disputing the fact that
Yeah,
you're going through
something.
but is it really that
Yeah.
or that they just because sometimes they can mask the desire of they can mask not wanting to be with you, their intention.
yeah, mental health, whatever. Really,
Yeah,
sometimes people
that's so real.
people weaponize mental health.
I mean, how many times have you heard someone tell you that, I don't want to commit because
Exactly.
I'm not mentally okay?
Yeah.
A lot of people can.
A lot of people
confess to that.
they can
Like,
they weaponize it so much. So
much,
sometimes you'll be wondering, like, look, actually I have a friend of mine that is currently going through something like that right now. And I'm like, is it really this thing? But or it's
He just don't want to.
He just doesn't want to. So really get to that point where you're asking yourself, or you're asking you ask the person.
Yeah.
You're asking yourself, this person, is it really whatever, or he just wants to? Really, there's that. It's so valid. Then verse 2, she repeats the first line in the verse 1. I tapped on your window on your darkest night. The shape of you was jagged and weak. There was nowhere for me to stay, but I stayed anyways. Then the change in this thing comes. You fire off missiles because you hate yourself, but do you know you're demolishing me? Okay, let's take the whole thing. You fire off missiles because you hate yourself, but do you know you're demolishing me? And then you squeeze my hand as I am about to leave.
oh my god, this is so.
I think it's my favorite part of the this thing. I love this line so much. Do you want to go?
I think I might need a moment, but like go first.
Yeah. So you fire off missiles because you hate yourself, but do you know you're demolishing me? When these mental health sufferers are in that whatever, they do a lot of things. In some cases, they get to say a lot of in some people's cases, they get to say things. In other people's cases, they get to do things that they shouldn't be doing, or you think that it's not whatever. So in this case, when you say you fire off missiles, in this case, I'm seeing as words, right? Or doing things that are very hurtful, but they don't even know the impact that's having on you, on the partner. So it's like you fire off missiles because you hate yourself. So you fire off missiles, you don't. Not that because you hate yourself. That's a bit.
Yeah, so I think because you hate yourself is not like in a literal way of like not liking or self-loathing and all that. It could be that, but it could also be self-sabotaging.
Self-sabotaging, yeah.
Doing things that just puts you in a place where you're disadvantaged. Like you need someone, but you're rejecting companionship. So things like that. You hate yourself in ways like that. So
and she says, but do you know you're demolishing me? She's like, the person, they do this thing, they don't, like I said, they don't know the effects these things has on the people around them, or in this case the partner. But you, the partner, you sort of, you swallow it, you take it, you chalk it up to be like, oh, this it's what they are dealing with, but it is literally damaging you. And then in times where you feel like, you know what, I can't take this anymore, they hold, like they then try to make you stay and try to make you look like, oh, we can work this out and all that stuff.
Oh my god.
So I love that imagery of, and then you squeeze my hand as I'm about to leave.
See, that might sound sweet, but that's so toxic.
It's toxic.
It's because
it's not. I've never seen it to be sweet. I've only seen it to be toxic.
you might get to, squeezing your hand and
As you're about to leave, it's toxic. It's not sweet
because
about it.
Because it can get to a point where you're so unsure of what is even what's happening.
Yes.
Of their intentions.
Yes.
It's more than their intentions now. It's like so this what this is giving me a lot of someone who is avoidant. And with an avoidant person, you don't really know what they want, and it's not just that, you don't know where they stand, and they can't be decent about anything. So sometimes you feel alone in that relationship. You don't even feel like you're in a relationship. You feel like you're managing someone.
Managing someone is so real.
Yeah.
What this line also, these lines always give me an imagery of, now not mental health. I'm just just veer off a bit. Not exactly mental, but I think about like, especially women in abusive relationships, where you're with an abusive partner, they do all that to you. When you are like you've reached a breaking point, you want to leave, they do things that make you stay back.
Yeah.
So that was the imagery I often get. So that's why a lot of women are trapped in relationships like this. We see it. I have a former colleague like this where she'll say she her husband beats her and is abusive and everything, and every time we tell her, oh, leave that, whatever, she'll say like, oh, I'm leaving. Next thing she'll be like, he actually came back, he bought me this, he bought me that.
This is exactly what this is.
And then you stay for another month and another month and another month and then years. And that's what that often gives me.
Yeah, because when they squeeze your hand, they're not doing it in a forceful way.
Yeah, it's not a forceful way.
In this very warm, calm way that now it starts making you
second guess that decision. Like, oh, you know what? I could that kind of, let me stay a bit.
I know they're hurting me, but like,
let me stay. Let me stay a bit. Then that a bit now turns to now stay for a while. So that's what that part is giving me. God, I love it so much.
Me too.
And then it goes back to the chorus. Are you really going to talk about timing in times like this and let all your damage me and carry up your baggage up my street and make me your future history each time? You've come a long way, open the blinds, let me see your face. You wouldn't be the first renegade to need somebody. And then same post-chorus, is it insensitive for me to say, get your shit together so I can love you? Is it really your anxiety that stops you from giving me everything? Or do you just not want to? And then the bridge, which is sort of repeating part of what she had said in one of the earlier parts, which is but I think there's a slight change here. She said, and if I would have known how sharp the pieces you'd crumbled into, I might have let them lay. I think the difference between this one and the first one was, and if I would have known how many pieces you had crumbled into. So the first one was she saying, okay, I didn't know how many pieces it was deep, but I think now it's now more intense. How sharp
the intensity.
So
the first one was talking about the extent. This one is talking about the intensity.
But I love Taylor so much. I love how she chooses her words so carefully. And if I would have known how sharp the pieces you crumbled into, I might have still really saying like, if I had known how crazy, honey, like this is like a baby. This is crazy. It's like that thing of, you see someone beautiful, blah blah blah. You want to date them so bad, and people are telling you that, hey, be careful. You're playing with fire. That's trouble. Or you're like, and then you not enter. You're not like, hey,
how bad can
it be exactly? How bad can you not go and date the person?
And you find out.
That's when you not say, girl, if I would have known how sharp the pieces you'd crumbled into, I might have just let them lay. That is what is literally giving me. Like, if I had known how. I don't say fucked up because of the situation. If I would have known how deep your issues are, man, I would rather just not because I don't support people with mental health, but I just don't want to get involved.
Yeah,
that's I think what she's trying to say here.
Yeah, that's very valid, actually.
Yeah, it's extremely. So, I'm better off not getting involved. Not like I'm anti mental health or whatever, but there's some things I'm better off wishing you well from afar, but not be a direct. Not having directly involved and having a direct impact on me. I might have just let them lay. I'm sorry, miss. And then she goes, are you really going to talk about timing in times like this and let all your damage me and get all your baggage off my street? And that's basically, they just repeated the lines over and over and over and over, and that's about it. So yeah, that's that with Renegades. Alex, do you...
Well, I love this very honest piece, because as humans we feel a lot of complex feelings, and sometimes it can feel like the world tells you that you can be wrong, or like you can be in the wrong standing for feeling a certain way just because some things are sanctified, or like some things are like to what's the word now, to talk about them, or like to have certain feelings or reaction towards them. So this is very honest. It's a very honest piece. I
agree. I really agree with what you really said, like, because there's some of these things like mental health where, like you said, it's really very much sanctified, where it's like you're not meant to have any other opinion apart from the general public, which is the general consensus, which is, every mental health person, if you're around a mental health person, support them, love them, cherish them, blah blah, just this thing. But we are human beings, and life is not always black and white. There are gray areas, right? And then when you're closer, well, I believe the proximity, the proximity to these people, these situations, makes the entire thing more complex. So when you're closer to the situation, it's no longer a black and white this thing. It's not. There are now gray areas. Yeah. So I really love that this song just sort of, because I think there are a lot of songs that talks about mental health from the perspective of the sufferer,
and nobody talks
about people who have to handle them, whether romantically or platonically, because even with friendship as well, you can have some friends that love to disappear, for instance, and they just do some very interesting stuff, and you're like, okay, now me, I'm sorry, I have to, I'm calling shots, I'm firing shots here. Some friends that they could do some things that you cannot explain, and they sometimes maybe cannot explain it as well, but you cannot explain it. And then, but you have to be understanding of the situation, and you have to not react harshly or whatever. Even if what they did also had impact on you as well. It feels like the sufferer is where the attention should be more on, and that you are the friend or partner or whatever, you're gonna be fine.
I think this is, at the end of the day, we're all humans, and just because one person is going through things doesn't mean that other people don't have emotions and have soul that can be impacted by. So like at the end of the day, I think it's just about, I think we all can be a little sympathetic. We all can be a little like understanding and try to be just more human, because
across board.
Because something about what you said is also the reason why people are now using this mental health thing to kind of like weaponize people, use it as like
because I feel like they get a pass for everything. Once they mention mental health, you are meant to understand.
Manipulative.
Once I mention mental health, you're meant to understand. You're meant to hands off. Because if you go against anything, that means you don't support or understand mental blah blah blah. So it has become.
I think that's wrong, and this is coming from, like, I think I've said this so many times, but it's something I've also been doing on my part to kind of like learn, and it's hard, but like I'm doing the work on my part.
Balance.
So I'm learning. For example, I'm learning to communicate more instead of just taking actions and leaving people confused about like what's happening.
And it's not to say that you have to be that to everybody, but I feel like there's some people that you kind of owe that to. You get what I mean? Some people in your life, it might not be family. It might be family, and even your family, it might not be everybody in your family. It can just be some people that you owe that to, some friends here and there that you owe that to, and so thank you so much for tuning in for this one. I really hope you loved it as much as we did.
Oh, I loved this one.
I did as well. It made me feel seen. So I really hope it was worth it for you as much as it was worth it for us. And see you in our next one. And please do not forget to subscribe. We're not begging anybody, but try to subscribe, and do check out our other episodes. And see you in our next one.
See you guys.